I wish I could.
Tell me this isn't real.
Dad? Why is Mom crying?
Am I too late? Who are you? My name doesn't. Ethan, I am here because you deserve to know the truth. I need to ask you not to make any decisions until we speak. Who is this? I'm Detective Michael Carter. Someone has been lying to your family. Ethan Brooks believed one DNA tell him whether Jacob was really his son. He had no idea that was the smallest secret waiting for him that day.
Every mind holds a story. Welcome to Mindfold Stories, because every person has a story, and some stories change the way you see life.
You were right. They finally called him. Then we're out of time.
Director Hayes, the Brooks report came back.
I know. Run it again.
Again?
Every single sample. I never wanted to meet you like this. Have we met? No. But I've known about you for 10 years. Put the DNA report down. Why? Because that report isn't your biggest problem anymore. What are you talking about? Your son is in danger. Where are you going? If my instincts are right, we need to get there quickly. What do you think will happen? I hope I'm wrong. Where is his school bag? It's right there. When did he get home?
I didn't go to school today.
What?
You need to lock every door. Everything you're about to see happened over the next 72 hours. One DNA test.
Dad, don't let go yet.
3 weeks earlier.
Ethan believed he had everything. He had no idea everything was about to change.
That's it! You've got it!
I did it!
I told you, Lee, than almost any other.
At the time, it felt like nothing more had become the last morning before everything changed.
Hi, mister.
You know him?
I've seen him before.
At the time, Ethan barely noticed the black SUV. Later, he would...
Morning! I thought I'd bring breakfast. You always spoil us. I call it keeping good neighbors.
Miss Emily!
Everyone on Maple Grove trusted without a second thought. You know, I still can't believe this is my life.
What do you mean?
A beautiful wife, a great kid.
Yeah, we built it.
Ethan and Lauren Brooks, but sometimes the biggest secrets are... We need to talk.
Not now.
That brief conversation would become the turning point of a story nobody saw coming. Ethan had spent 12 years building a life he believed was unbreakable.
Love you, Dad.
Forget what?
But hidden beneath tonight.
Never was a truth nobody to face.
For years, Ethan believed.
But everyone has moments they keep hidden from the world.
Hello?
Lauren, we need to talk about something important.
Can this wait until tomorrow?
We should finish this conversation soon. Big plans tonight? Something special. 12 years is a long time. To everyone around him, his life appeared steady and complete. Some things are worth protecting, but unseen...
That night, Ethan expected to celebrate 12 years of marriage. He had no idea the evening would become the beginning of a question that would change everything.
To 12 years.
To us.
You know you're still my favorite person, right?
I know. Play the way it should.
Two people celebrating a life they built together.
I never thought we would actually make it this far.
We are here now, and that is all that matters. Still can't believe you remembered my favorite.
Of course I remembered.
What was that?
Nothing.
Everything okay?
Yeah, of course.
You seem distracted tonight.
I'm just tired.
But you know you can tell me anything, right?
I'm sorry.
That night, a difficult decision weighed heavily on her heart.
Morning, Dad.
Morning, buddy.
Are we still going to the game on Saturday?
I wouldn't miss it for the world. Did you sleep okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
The next morning looked ordinary. But what are you making?
It's my family.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Sometimes children notice things.
Adults overlook.
Sometimes they say things before they understand what they mean.
You?
Lauren, we need to talk. I didn't want to come here
Then why did you?
because you know why.
Please don't do this.
Hey, I'm home. Sorry, I didn't realize we had company. I should go.
Wait,
Who was that?
someone from a long time ago.
For the first time, Ethan realized there were parts of the past he had never been told about. Did he leave this?
Ethan,
What is it?
don't.
Why?
I need to explain something first.
Explain what?
This came from someone I knew before.
Who?
Someone who was part of my life a long time ago.
How long have you known about this? Whatever this is.
Before I met you, there were things you didn't know.
Lauren, can you help me understand what is happening?
I want to explain everything.
Whatever this is, we'll figure it out.
I wish it was that simple. Hello?
Lauren, we need to talk about something important.
Can this wait until tomorrow?
We should finish this conversation soon. Everything okay?
There is something important I need to talk about.
We need to be honest with each other. I can't keep pretending anymore. I just want us to work.
I want that too, Ethan.
But Lauren Brooks was carrying something even heavier. Something she had hidden for years. Not because she wanted to hurt anyone, but because she was terrified of what the truth would destroy. And somewhere else, the man who arrived at their door knew the truth was getting closer. That night, Ethan Brooks stared at a document he never expected to see. For years, he believed his life was simple. A loving wife, a happy home, a son he would do anything to protect. Before the questions began, small things started changing. Things Ethan couldn't explain. Before the envelope, before the truth came knocking, the Brooks family looked like every other happy family. Then came the call that reopened everything. One unexpected visitor had opened a door to a past Ethan knew nothing about. And standing there in the quiet of his bedroom, holding a piece of paper that could change everything, Ethan realized something terrifying. The person closest to him might have been carrying a story he never knew existed. But every perfect picture can hide something outside the frame. For the first time in years, Ethan started looking for answers instead of memories. and everything came back to one small envelope. Sometimes the hardest moments are not when you know the truth. They are the moments before. But before Ethan Brooks became a husband, before he became a father, before this house became his entire world, Lauren Brooks had a life that existed before him. A chapter she rarely talked about. A chapter she thought she had buried forever. The visitor at their door was not a stranger. Not completely. He was someone connected to a part of Lauren's life she had left behind. A person who knew a version of Lauren that Ethan had never met. And now, after years of silence, he had returned. Ethan wanted answers. But every answer seemed to create another question. Why did this man appear now? Why did Lauren seem like she already knew what was coming? And why was there a document connected to a moment from her past? Lauren finally admitted something. The visitor was connected to a time before Ethan. A time she never expected to revisit. But there was one thing she still could not say. The reason he came back. The reason he brought that envelope. And the reason Ethan's entire understanding of his family was about to change. The next morning, Ethan made a decision. He needed the truth. Not rumors. Not unanswered questions. Not half explanations. The only way forward was to finally confirm what everyone was avoiding. The DNA test. When the results arrived, Ethan prepared himself for the possibility that everything he believed could disappear. For a few seconds, Ethan said nothing, because the truth was not what he expected. But what he discovered was not the answer he expected, because the biggest secret was never about whether Jacob was his son. The DNA test revealed something much bigger, something nobody in that room saw coming. The envelope sat on the kitchen table for several minutes. Nobody moved, because sometimes the hardest part about learning the truth is knowing there is no going back afterward. Ethan finally opened it. His hands were steady, but his heart wasn't. He looked down at the results, and for a moment, he said nothing. Then Ethan read the words that answered the question he had been afraid to ask. The result was clear. Jacob was his son, the child he raised, the child he protected, the child he loved, was his. The fear disappeared, but the questions remained. A wave of relief passed over him, but that relief lasted only seconds, because there was another section of the report, a section Lauren never mentioned. The DNA test had answered one question, but created another, because the DNA test did not end the story. It opened the door to the bigger secret. The test was supposed to answer one simple question, but Ethan was beginning to realize some answers change more than just one moment. With one movement, the question he had carried for days was finally answered. The visitor wasn't there because Ethan wasn't Jacob's father. He was there because he knew something about Jacob's history, something Lauren had kept hidden. And now Ethan needed the truth. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. For years,
I never wanted this
Lauren
moment to
carried a
happen.
secret because she
I thought
believed
keeping the
silence
past hidden would
protect
protect the
everyone.
people I love.
But
I was
silence
wrong.
had created a different kind of damage. Lauren knew there was no hiding anymore. So she finally told Ethan the part of the story she had been afraid to revisit. And for the first time, Ethan stopped looking for someone to blame. He started listening. Before she met Ethan, before their wedding, before Jacob was born, there was a difficult chapter of her life. A chapter involving someone she thought she would never see again. The visitor. The mysterious man finally revealed why he came. His name was Daniel Carter. Years earlier, before Ethan knew Lauren, Daniel had been part of her life. But he wasn't returning to destroy their family. He was returning because he discovered something important, something connected to Jacob. Years earlier, Daniel had disappeared from Lauren's life after believing he had lost everything. But before he left, he made one decision, a decision that would eventually bring him back. He had preserved important medical records connected to Jacob's early childhood. Not because he wanted to take anyone's place, but because he wanted Jacob to know the truth someday. Ethan had every reason to feel betrayed. But when he looked at Jacob, he realized something. Family was never only about biology. It was about the people who stayed, the people who showed up, the people who loved you every single day. For days, Ethan replayed everything in his mind. Every conversation, every moment he thought he understood, every memory that suddenly looked different. He could have walked away. Many people would have. But then he looked at Jacob, and he remembered something important. A father is not created by a piece of paper. A father is created by every bedtime story, every scraped knee, every early morning, every moment when a child needed someone, and that person showed up. To Ethan, those moments were proof that life was exactly where it belonged. Eventually, Ethan and Lauren sat down and had the conversation they should have had
I was
years
scared.
earlier.
I thought telling you would
There were
destroy
tears.
everything we built.
There were
I wish
difficult
you trusted
questions.
me enough to tell me.
There were moments
You almost
of silence.
lost me by trying to protect me.
But for the first time, there were no more secrets between them. Daniel knew something important. Daniel finally explained why he returned. He wasn't there to destroy a family. He was there because he believed the truth deserved a chance. He was part of Jacob's story, but he wasn't the center of it. That place already belonged to Ethan. Daniel didn't come back to replace anyone. He came back because he believed the truth deserved to be known. And after seeing the family Ethan and Lauren had built, he finally understood. Sometimes love means knowing when to step forward. And sometimes it means knowing when to step away. Months later, the Brooks family slowly returned to normal. Not because everything was forgotten, but because they chose forgiveness over resentment. Ethan learned that love is not about having a perfect story. It is about choosing each other when the story becomes complicated. Lauren learned that protecting someone from the truth can sometimes, but inside that house, one person knew nothing about the storm around him. Hurt more than the truth itself. Jacob. He continued growing up surrounded by the one thing every child deserves: love. Sometimes the truth arrives in the most painful way. Sometimes one moment can make you question everything you believed. But the strongest families are not the ones that never face problems. They are the ones willing to face them together. Because at the end of the day, family is not just about where we come from. It is about who chooses to stay. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. Every sound in the house reminded him that the life he thought he understood had changed. He wasn't angry because of the DNA test. He was hurt because he wondered how long the truth had been sitting right beside him. Across the hallway, Lauren was facing a different battle. She wasn't afraid of the truth anymore. She was afraid of losing the people she loved because of it. And then there was Jacob, the child at the center of a story he never asked to be part of. But to Ethan, one thing had never changed. Jacob was his son. Before the questions, before the documents, before the secrets, there was only one thing Ethan knew. He loved Jacob. From the first moment he held him, Ethan never questioned his place in that child's life. Ethan never questioned the role he played in Jacob's life. Every day together created another memory. Lauren watched those moments from a distance. She saw the relationship they built. She saw the love between them. And that was exactly why telling Ethan the truth became so difficult. But every family has chapters that happen before anyone else arrives. Lauren's story did not begin when she met Ethan. There was a time when she was someone completely different. A time before this house, before this family. And in that chapter was Daniel Carter, a person Lauren believed belonged only to her past. But sometimes, the past has a way of finding its way back. Years later, Daniel returned with information he believed Lauren needed to see. He did not come looking for revenge. He did not come to destroy a family. He came because he believed the truth mattered. For days, Ethan saw Daniel as the person who brought uncertainty into his home. But slowly, he began to understand something. Daniel wasn't trying to take anything away from him. He was trying to return something that had been hidden. Inside that room, Ethan finally asked the question he had been avoiding. Why now? Why after all these years? And Daniel finally gave him an answer. Daniel explained that he never came back to take Ethan's place. He knew something important. Jacob already had a father. The man who raised him. The man who showed up every single day. For the first time, Ethan realized something. The story was never about replacing him. It was about understanding where everything began. Two men connected by the same child finally understood they were never enemies. Being a father was never about biology alone. It was about every moment they shared. Every lesson. Every memory. Then Lauren finally told Ethan everything. Not the version she had carefully chosen over the years. The complete story. Years earlier, Lauren had faced a difficult moment in her life. She made choices based on fear and uncertainty. But she never imagined those choices would return years later. Lauren thought leaving the past behind meant it was gone. But the past does not disappear. It waits, sometimes for years. While adults were struggling with the past, Jacob only knew one thing. The man beside him had always been there. That was the moment Lauren understood. The truth was painful, but hiding it had created a different kind of pain. Ethan had every reason to walk away. He had every reason to be angry. But before making a decision, he looked at the people standing in front of him. And Ethan finally understood something. Truth can break a family apart. But sometimes, truth is the only thing that can rebuild one. That night, Ethan sat alone and thought about everything. The questions, the pain, the years he could never get back. But one thing remained clear. He did not want to lose the family he had built. The next morning, Ethan and Lauren finally had the conversation they should have had years earlier. No secrets. No avoiding difficult questions. Just two people trying to understand each other again. Lauren apologized. Not because she wanted to erase the past, but because she finally understood the weight of carrying it alone. Ethan knew forgiveness did not mean pretending nothing happened. It meant choosing what mattered more. The hurt from yesterday, or the family standing in front of him today. Daniel understood something too. Some people enter your life for a season. Some return only to deliver the truth. But not every person who arrives is meant to stay forever. Before leaving, Daniel looked back one final time. He knew his part in the story was ending. He saw something he never had before. a family that had chosen love over anger. Some people return to your life, not to stay, but to help you finally move forward. Life did not instantly become perfect. The healing did not happen overnight. But every day brought another chance. There were still conversations to have, trust to rebuild, memories to create. But slowly, the Brooks family moved forward. They learned that perfect families do not exist. Only families willing to fight for each other. Truth can hurt, but hidden truth can hurt even more. And for Ethan, one truth mattered above everything else. Jacob was never a question. He was his son, not because of a test, because of every moment they shared. Because family is not only about where we come from. It is about who stays, who chooses us, who loves us when the truth becomes difficult. Sometimes the truth arrives like a storm. It shakes everything you thought you knew. But sometimes, after the storm passes, you discover what was strong enough to survive. And sometimes, the biggest secrets reveal the strongest bonds.
Every mind holds a story. Welcome to Mindfold Stories, because every person has a story, and some stories change the way you see life.